If you're watching this video, you might be in too deep. This is going to be more of a comparison video than a full-fledged review for those who aren't sure which scanner to get. I'm not going to be going too deep into all the topics because some of them deserve their own video. I'll be going over the similarities first and then the differences. And at the end, a final tip to help you save time and money when buying a Nikon Coolscan. The 8000 and the 9000 are extremely close in size. The 8000 is 9 5/8 inches wide, 7 7/8 inches tall, and 19 5/8 inches deep. The 9000 is 9 3/4 inches wide, 7 3/4 inches tall, and 19.5 inches deep. No matter which one you pick, they're going to take up the same amount of space. Fortunately, they all take the same holders, which means you won't be missing out on any of the supported scanning formats. Some of the main holders include the FH869S for 120 strips, up to 6x9 negatives, the FH835S for two 35mm strips, up to 6 exposures each, and 3D printed holders will also work on both. Unfortunately, the scanners are hindered in today's day and age because they use an IEE 1394 cable, more commonly known as FireWire. If you're on Mac or laptop, you will need to buy 3 different adapters. However, if you're on PC, you can buy a FireWire adapter PCIe card, and you only need the one cable. I'm not sure why the 9000 didn't have USB, considering both its 35mm counterparts, the 5000 and the 5, which came out in the same time, did have it. Don't worry, because you're still going to be getting those same crispy, tender, finger-licking good 4000 dpi resolution scans with both of them. You can use all the same software, the main 3 being Silverfast, ViewScan, and the discontinued Nikon Scan 4. I personally use ViewScan because I find it to be the best overall. This isn't a comparison of all the different softwares. They're all different, but you can't really go wrong with any of them. Although they have the same gray base color, their styles differ to match their 35mm counterparts. The 8000 and the 4000 have this more professional square feel with a slightly transparent black cover slide. The 9000, 5, and 5000 have a more lax, rounder design with rubber gray accents. If speed is what you're looking for, you're in the wrong place. Keep in mind that it's going to be different for you if you're using a different software, and if you have a different computer, it's not going to be exactly the same for you, so this is just to give you an idea. I usually scan at the maximum resolution of 4000 dpi. I use digital ice and I turn fine mode on. I also don't do my scans as DNG RAWs, I do them as TIFFs, but I don't believe that makes a difference in the time it takes to scan. There are ways to speed up your scanning by turning off digital ice and fine mode. However, I don't recommend turning those off, especially fine mode. I wouldn't recommend scanning without it at all. You'll also notice some very slight color differences in the scan. I turned color balance off on ViewScan so that it's not doing those corrections for me. So even with the exact same settings, the colors aren't going to be exactly the same, whether it's something to do with the scanner or the age of one of them, or just how it's stored, whatever it could be. But if you white balance them similarly, you can get them to look almost identical. The 9000 is not going to be as fast as DSLR scanning, but you can see that it's about twice as fast as the 8000 with all the same settings, so it's a pretty big difference. The 9000 boasts a 16-bit depth per channel, while the 8000 has 14. I'm not an expert on this, but I think it's important to explain the difference in this video, so I'm just going to be reading my script and you'll be watching some B-roll. A digital color image, like this, is usually made up of 3 channels: red, green, and blue, or RGB. Let's look at the 9000. It can record 16 bits for each of the 3 channels. So if you multiply 16 by 3, your image would have a total of 48 bits. Okay, so what's a bit? Well, simply, it's a unit measurement of digital information, and it grows drastically. 16 bits equals 65,536 possible shades of color per channel. If that sounds like a lot, it's about to get crazier. Because the total number of colors possible in your scan 65,536 to the third power would equal over 281 trillion colors in your picture. That is insane. Okay, but what about the 8,000? It can't be that much less, right? Well, 14 bits is equal to 16,384, and in total it would amount to 4 trillion possible colors in your 42-bit total 14 times 3 image. But wait, before you click buy on your brand new 9,000, there's more you have to know. You are never gonna be able to see that many colors. So why does it matter? First is because black and white film scans only record one channel, and you will be able to see a slight difference between 65,000 shades versus 16,000 shades. Your 6x7 scan at maximum resolution is going to have somewhere shy of 100 million pixels. Having more bits allows for these pixels to transition or blend smoother in gradients. However, 14-bit is nothing to laugh at. Just look at modern video cameras that proudly market 10-bit recording. Even on the Hollywood level, the Arri Alexa 35 boasts 13-bit log recording. The 8000 can record 8 times more than that with its 14-bit, and you'll probably never notice the difference between them unless you're doing some ludicrous color editing, maybe even then. Digital ice is a hardware feature found on both scanners for infrared dust removal and color restoration. The 8000 rocks Digital Ice 3, however the 9000 boasts the advanced Digital Ice 4. Essentially, it is improved and can be used on Kodachrome slides. So if you're an archiver, this is pretty important. Both versions work well, but if you use Digital Ice on the 8000 and 9000, it's going to increase the light bleeding in your scans. So just keep that in mind. And it's not really going to work well with overexposed negatives. It's going to make them look really bad. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Digital Ice does not work on black and white film at all. So we're going to take a moment of silence for those who are just learning about that. Price unfortunately may be the deciding factor in your decision, like it was for me when I bought the 8000. As of making this video, the 8000 can be found in the $1,000 to $1,200 range, whereas the 9000 is often found for $2,000 or more. That doesn't account for any repairs. The FireWire chips in the 8000s are starting to fail now, so you'll probably need to repair that. I've had the Coolscan 8000 for a little over a year, and in that time I've gotten the FireWire chip replaced, as well as getting a 3D printed holder for it because I was experiencing too much light bleeding with the original 120 strip holder. But after doing this, my experience with the scanner was fine, really close to the 9000. However, I scan a lot and I needed something that was a bit faster. And for that tip I mentioned earlier, I highly recommend joining the Coolscan Facebook group to help you save time and money with your Nikon Coolscan. The people in the Coolscan Facebook group were extremely helpful with all of these issues, and I actually bought my 9000 from there, already serviced and for a very good reasonable price. So which one should you get? And don't get me wrong, these are very close in terms of quality. They both might be the best consumer level dedicated 120 film scanners that you can buy today. If you only scan a few rolls a month, then you'll probably save a lot of money with the 8000. However, if you shoot a lot and scan a lot, or you're an archiver, then the 9000 may be worth the extra price with the time you'll save in the long run. Jesus is King, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.